My dear brothers and sisters, we live in a world that makes us believe we are the sole architects of our success. We're told that our effort alone determines our income, our titles, our homes, our comforts. But pause for a moment. Look at the world around you. Look at the birds that wake every morning with empty stomachs yet return every evening filled. Look at the newborn who arrives with a sustenance ordained before it even breathes its first breath. Look at the elderly who can barely lift a hand but never fail to receive what was written for them. Rizq isn't earned, it is written. Our effort is a command, but our provision is a decree. There are moments in life when we grind, we hustle, we pour our hearts into dreams, yet the door remains closed. And there are times when blessings crash into our lives like waves, effortlessly, unexpectedly, without any grand plan on our part. This is Allah reminding us, you are responsible for the striving, but not for the outcome. My dear listener, how many times have you burdened your heart thinking, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not trying hard enough? But what if the delay isn't a rejection? What if the silence is mercy? What if the waiting is part of the writing? Sometimes Allah withholds to protect us. Sometimes He delays to elevate us. Sometimes He slows our steps because what we want is smaller than what He wants to give. Imagine rushing toward a raindrop when Allah has prepared an ocean. That is the difference between our plans and His. And yet, we grow restless. We compare our lives to ours. We assume someone else's abundance means we're lacking. But the truth is, no soul on this earth can take a grain of rice meant for you. And no soul can stop a blessing racing toward you. Just as night follows day with absolute certainty, your rizq will find you. It will locate you in the darkest cave, the busiest marketplace, the quietest room, or the most forgotten corner of the earth. Because it isn't guided by luck or opportunity or connections. It is guided by the one who wrote your existence before time began. My brothers and sisters, let your heart breathe. Let your worry loosen its grip. Walk through life with dignity, sincerity and tawakkul. Work hard not because you think your effort creates your rizq, but because your effort is worship. Earn honestly, speak kindly, give generously, live gratefully, and leave the rest to Allah. Hold on to patience like a rope in the storm. Trust Allah's timing the way the seed trusts the soil hidden, buried, unseen, yet growing into something magnificent. And tonight, as you close your eyes, whisper to your heart, what is written for me will reach me. What is not written for me will pass me by. My duty is to try. My peace is in trusting. May your rizq be abundant, your heart content, and your faith unwavering. May you walk through life knowing that what is written for you will arrive exactly when it is meant to. And may you find serenity in surrender, strength in patience, and beauty in trusting the one who writes your rizq. Understanding the true nature of rizq begins with a simple but life-altering realization. What reaches you was never meant to miss you, and what misses you was never meant to reach you. This truth is not meant to make us passive, nor is it meant to discourage hard work. Instead, it reshapes our relationship with effort, success and divine trust. When a person begins to see rizq not as something purely earned through sweat and intellect, but as something written with divine precision, the heart relaxes, the mind clears, and the soul finds a steadier rhythm. Think for a moment about how different people experience life. One person works tirelessly day and night, yet struggles to gather enough for their needs. Another person seems to glide effortlessly through opportunities, receiving blessings from unexpected direction. Then there is the one who loses everything, but somehow still feels cared for, and another who seems to have everything yet feels empty and anxious. If rizq was solely the product of human ability, then the most intelligent, the most energetic, and the most strategic would always be the wealthiest and most comfortable. But the world doesn't operate that way, because Allah distributes provision according to wisdom beyond our understanding. When you see rizq as written, you begin to separate your effort from your outcome. You work. Because working is an act of obedience, an expression of responsibility, a way to honor the body and mind Allah give you. But you no longer attach your worth to your earnings. You no longer panic if plans shift or opportunities disappear. You no longer compare your path to another's. Instead, you understand that your journey carries a unique script, designed with intentionality that surpasses human logic. And this understanding brings emotional liberation. Instead of living in fear of loss, you begin to live in awareness of the one who provides. Instead of chasing provision like a traveler lost in the desert, you begin to walk with dignity, knowing the sustenance meant for you will arrive even if the entire world tries to block it. The heart feels lighter because it stops carrying a weight it was never meant to hold, the burden of controlling every outcome. Reflect on how a child reaches for the hand of a parent when crossing a busy road. The child doesn't worry about the traffic or the timing or the direction. The child simply walks, trusting that the one holding their hand sees what they cannot see. In a far more perfect and compassionate way, this is how a believer learns to view Allah's writing of Rizq. You still walk, you still take steps, you still show up, but you don't pretend to be the one guiding destiny. Understanding that Rizq is written also softens the heart toward others. You stop feeling threatened by someone else's success because their portion is their portion and yours is yours. Jealousy loses its power because you realize that no heart beats with your blessings and no hand can close over what Allah intends to place in yours. This perspective transforms relationships, reduces envy, and builds a sense of unity fueled by trust rather than competition. It also reframes disappointment. When something we desperately want slips from our fingers, the instinctive reaction is to question our effort or doubt our worth. But if Rizq is written, then a missed opportunity isn't a reflection of failure, it's a redirection. It's a door closed with mercy, even if the heart hasn't understood it yet. Sometimes what we want is too small for what Allah has planned. Sometimes it is premature. Sometimes it would harm our faith, distract our hearts, or delay a greater blessing. And then there are those moments when something effortless enters our life. An unexpected job, a connection, a solution, a gift, a moment of relief. These are reminders that Allah can send provision from paths we never imagined. He can soften hearts, open ways, and shift circumstances instantly. Rizq doesn't always arrive wrapped in logic. Sometimes it arrives wrapped in divine surprise. But understanding that Rizq is written never excuses laziness or apathy. Striving remains essential, not because striving creates the blessing, but because striving is a form of worship. You plant the seed, but Allah makes it grow. You knock on the door, but Allah decides which one's open. You walk the path, but Allah chooses where it leads. This balance between effort and trust is the essence of spiritual maturity. When the heart internalizes this truth, it breathes differently. You wake up in the morning with purpose, but not panic. You work with dedication, but not desperation. You seek improvement, but you no longer chase validation from the world. You understand that what is written for you will reach you even if every obstacle stands before it. And what is not written for you will slip away even if you chase it with every breath. In this understanding lies peace. A peace rooted not in circumstances, but in trust. Trust that Allah's plan is wiser than our desires. Trust that His timing is more precise than our deadlines. Trust that His provision is more generous than our expectation. And when you truly trust the one who writes your Rizq, your heart stops fearing the future because it knows it is held by the one who owns it. Recognizing the illusions of control and understanding the test of trust is one of the most transformative shifts a believer can experience. From a young age, we are taught that life bends according to our plans. That success is crafted by our strategies and that outcomes rest solely in our hands. But as we grow, life reveals its complexity. Situations slip beyond our control. Plans dissolve in front of us. Doors close without explanation. Unexpected hardships appear like storms we never predicted. These moments are not failures. They are reminders that control is not ours to hold. They awaken us to a deeper truth. The universe does not revolve around our timing, our calculations, or our desires. It revolves around the wisdom of the one who created it. The illusion of control is comforting, but it is still an illusion. We like to feel that every step we take determines the next, that if we work hard enough or plan cleverly enough, we can guarantee our outcomes. But think of the countless moments in your life that unfolded without your permission or prediction. Think of the blessings that arrived without any effort on your part. Think of the hardships that appeared despite all your caution and preparation. These are signs that the ultimate control rests with Allah, not with us. This realization does not weaken a person, it frees them. When you cling to the illusion of control, Every unexpected event feels like a personal attack. You become anxious when plans change, frustrated when timelines shift, and defeated when results differ from what you imagined. But when you surrender the illusion and embrace the truth that Allah controls every atom, every heartbeat, every opportunity, and every delay, the heart exhales. You stop fighting battles that aren't yours to fight. You stop gripping outcomes that were never yours to hold. You begin to walk with more calmness, more humility, and more acceptance. And this surrender is what transforms the test of trust. True trust is not simply believing that Allah exists. It is believing that He is actively guiding your life, even when you cannot see the wisdom behind His choices. It is believing that He knows what you need better than you do. It is believing that His timing will never be late, that His withholding is mercy, and that His giving is perfectly measured. But trust is only born when the illusion of control dies. As long as you believe you are the sole author of your destiny, you will struggle to lean on Allah. Trust grows in the space where ego lessens, where surrender deepens, and where the heart whispers, I do not know the plan, but I trust the planner. There will be seasons in life where everything appears still. Your efforts may seem unnoticed, your prayers unanswered, your dreams suspended in time. These are the moments when trust is tested. The silence of these seasons is not a punishment, it's a classroom. Allah teaches in stillness what He cannot teach in abundance. He teaches you patience, introspection, reliance, humility. He teaches you to look inward instead of outward, to seek Him instead of seeking results. These waiting periods polish the soul, soften the heart, and build resilience. Trust is also tested through loss. Losing something you deeply wanted, someone you deeply loved, or an opportunity you deeply chased can shake even the strongest heart. But these losses remind us again that nothing, no matter how tightly we hold it, is truly ours. Everything we possess is a loan. Our health, our wealth, our relationships, our careers, our comfort. And loans can be reclaimed at any moment. A believer learns to love without attachment, to hold without gripping, to walk without claiming ownership. Because understanding that everything belongs to Allah allows you to endure loss without breaking apart. And yet, trust does not mean passivity. It does not mean sitting idly, waiting for blessings to fall from the sky. Trust means working with all your strength, while knowing that strength itself is a gift. It means planning with clarity, while knowing the outcome rests elsewhere. It means striving for excellence, while accepting that excellence does not guarantee results. It means doing your part fully while praying, my Lord, guide my steps to what you have written for me. The test of trust often appears strongest when your effort seems disconnected from your outcome. You work hard but see little progress. You pray sincerely but see no visible change. You make sacrifices but feel no reward. These moments stretch your faith, but they also elevate it. They push you to rely not on what you see but on what you believe. They teach you that Allah's wisdom is operating beyond the limits of your understanding. And in that realization, a person discovers peace. A peace not built on perfect circumstances, but on perfect reliance. A peace not dependent on what is happening around you, but on what is happening within you. You learn to say, even when I don't understand, I trust. You learn to let go of the illusion and embrace the reality that Allah is the one who manages your affairs with a compassion deeper than your fears, with a wisdom beyond your plans, and with a kindness that accompanies you through every test. When the heart finally grips this truth, trust stops being a struggle and becomes a source of strength. It becomes the calm in every storm, the anchor in every uncertainty, and the light in every dark moment. Finding peace in delayed blessings and hidden wisdom is one of the most profound journeys a believer can take. Delay is something every heart encounters, yet very few truly understand. We live in an age where everything is instant communication, instant gratification, instant solutions. Because of this, waiting feels like suffering. We interpret silence as rejection, delays as punishment, and slow progress as failure. But in the divine system, delay is often the most compassionate form of preparation. It is not a sign that you are forgotten. It is a sign that you are being shaped, softened, and elevated in ways you cannot yet see. Every blessing has its appointed time, just like every seed has its season. You cannot force a rose to bloom in winter, nor can you rush a sunrise. Some things become beautiful only when the world around them is ready. Likewise, certain blessings enter your life only when you are ready emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. There are times when what you are praying for is not denied, but delayed, because receiving it prematurely would harm you, overwhelm you, or distract you from a greater purpose that is still unfolding. Think of moments in life when you desperately wanted something, a job, a relationship, an opportunity, and you felt entirely prepared for it. You prayed, you cried, you hoped, and still nothing happened. Later, perhaps months or years down the line, you realize why. You grew, you changed, you matured, and suddenly you understood that if the blessing had arrived early, it would have collided with an unprepared version of yourself. That collision might have broken you, consumed you, or led you down a path you were not meant to take. What felt like stagnation at the time was actually protection. This hidden wisdom is woven into every delay. Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows the unseen details, the hearts of people, the outcomes of decisions, the unseen dangers, and the unspoken truths. You may believe that something is perfect for you, but you only see the surface. Allah sees its depth, its consequences, its future, His. Delay is not cruelty, it is mercy. It is Him arranging circumstances, aligning opportunities, softening hearts, removing obstacles, and preparing you for blessings that will not crumble when placed in your hands. Sometimes, delay is not about preparing the blessing, but preparing. In waiting, your patience deepens, your faith strengthens, your character becomes refined. The heart learns humility. The soul learns reliance. You begin to understand that you are not the master of destiny, but a traveler guided by a loving Creator. In these periods, prayers become more sincere, hopes more grounded, and trust more genuine. Delay teaches what immediate answers never can: surrender. And surrender is where peace begins. There is a unique tranquility that comes when you accept that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. You stop wrestling with life. You stop questioning your worth. You stop interpreting hardship as abandonment. Instead, you begin to walk with a quiet confidence, a serene patience that whispers, "My Lord is planning something beautiful, even if I cannot see it yet." Peace in delayed blessings also comes from understanding that timing affects the impact of a blessing. Something received too early might be wasted, unappreciated, or misused. But something received at the precise, divinely chosen moment becomes a source of deep gratitude. Think about rain. If it falls too early, seeds drown. Too late, the earth cracks. But when it falls at the right time, it brings life. This is how divine timing works. It revives, nourishes, and elevates. There are also hidden blessings in what does not happen. Sometimes you ask for something with your whole heart, unaware that it would bring you heartbreak. Sometimes you chase something that would drain your peace. Sometimes you hope for something that would lead you away from your purpose. Allah's withholding is as loving as His giving, because both are forms of care. But the human heart, limited in sight and overwhelmed by desire, often misinterprets this kindness. This is why peace grows when you learn to shift your focus from why is this not happening to what is Allah teaching me through this. Every delay has a lesson. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes it is gratitude. Sometimes it is letting go of attachments. Sometimes it is learning to stand tall through uncertainty. And sometimes the lesson is simply to return to Allah with a softer heart and a deeper reliance. When the blessing finally arrives, because what is written for you will always arrive, you will not just receive it, you will understand it. You will see how every moment of waiting shaped you into someone capable of carrying that blessing with wisdom and appreciation. You will see how the tears you shed watered the soil of your growth. You will see how every unanswered prayer protected you. You will see how every silent night strengthened you. The most beautiful truth is this: Allah does not delay to deny. He delays to prepare, to purify, and to perfect. And when the moment He has written for your blessing arrives, it will enter your life with such clarity, such ease, such softness, that your heart will finally say, "This is why I had to wait." And in that realization, peace will settle in your soul like a long-awaited dawn. Cultivating gratitude and patience in every season of life is one of the greatest forms of worship and one of the deepest signs of trust in Allah. Gratitude is not just saying Alhamdulillah when life looks beautiful, nor is patience only a virtue for times of struggle. They are both lifelong companions, two wings that help the believer rise above life's unpredictability. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into blessings, and patience turns trials into stepping stones. Together, they help the heart remain steady, balanced, and anchored regardless of what life brings. Gratitude begins with learning to see differently. Many people spend their entire lives waiting for big moments, big happiness, big breakthroughs, big changes, while overlooking the miracles woven into each breath, the beating of a heart, the ability to see, the taste of food, the comfort of a safe home, the sound of a loved one's voice. All these are blessings, so constant that we forget they are blessings at all. But the moment even one of them is taken away, the whole world feels different. This awareness is the foundation of gratitude. Recognizing that nothing you have is guaranteed, and everything you have is a gift. When a person trains their heart to see blessings instead of gaps, abundance instead of deficiency, they unlock a kind of peace that cannot be shaken. Gratitude softens bitterness, dissolves envy, and turns the heart toward the giver rather than the gift. It transforms the way you walk in the world. Instead of living with a sense of entitlement, believing you deserve more, you live with a sense of appreciation, knowing you already have more than you realize. But gratitude is not meant only for ease. True gratitude appears even in difficulty when a believer says, Alhamdulillah, not because life is perfect, but because they trust that Allah's plan is perfect. This form of gratitude is powerful because it keeps the heart from drowning in sorrow. It reminds you that even in hardship, there are blessings, lessons learned, sins forgiven, strength gained, pride softened, compassion deepened. Gratitude in struggle is recognizing that Allah has not left you empty-handed, even when He tests you. And this naturally connects to patience, one of the most misunderstood spiritual qualities. Patience is not passive. It is not silence in the face of injustice, nor is it weakness or resignation. Patience is strength. It is endurance with dignity, calmness with clarity, surrender with trust. It is the determination to continue walking even when the path is dark, to continue believing even when the outcome is unknown, to continue praying even when the answer has not yet arrived. Patience is the companion of every believer because life is full of waiting for healing, waiting for clarity, waiting for opportunities, waiting for marriage, waiting for children, waiting for relief, waiting for forgiveness. Every heart waits for something. But the difference lies in how we wait. Some wait with anxiety, resentment, and frustration. Others wait with trust, humility, and peace. The first type of waiting drains the soul. The second type strengthens it. Cultivating patience means shifting your perspective from why is this happening to me to what is Allah preparing me for. The heart learns to see delay not as neglect, but as divine timing. It learns to see hardship not as punishment, but as purification. It learns to see struggle not as failure, but as a pathway to growth. Patience becomes easier when you realize that everything that reaches you is meant for you, and everything that misses you was never yours to begin with. Peace begins to grow when gratitude and patience work together. Gratitude reminds you of what you already have. Patience reminds you that what you seek will come in its time. Gratitude grounds you in the present. Patience guides you toward the future. Gratitude opens the door to contentment. Patience opens the door to endurance. Together, they keep your heart steady in both sunshine and storm. A person who is grateful in good times and patient in difficult times becomes unshakable. Their happiness does not depend on circumstances. Their peace does not depend on outcomes. Their worth does not depend on achievements. They learn to value the present moment and trust that tomorrow is in the hands of the one who knows what is hidden. Cultivating gratitude and patience is a daily practice. It grows through small decisions. Choosing to say Alhamdulillah even when things don't go as planned. Choosing to breathe before reacting. Choosing to see a blessing instead of a burden. Choosing to trust instead of panic. Over time, these small decisions reshape the heart. And when the heart is shaped by gratitude and patience, life feels different. The world becomes softer. Worries become lighter. Relationships become kinder. faith becomes deeper. You stop chasing fulfillment in temporary things because you find fulfillment in your connection with Allah. Ultimately, gratitude and patience are not simply virtues, they are pathways to peace. They remind you that everything you have is a gift, and everything you seek will arrive when it is written. They teach you that Allah is with you in every season of life. In ease, He gives. In hardship, He guides. In silence, He listens. And in delay, He prepares. A heartfelt call to surrender, strive sincerely, and rely completely on Allah is the natural conclusion of every lesson. We learn about Rizq, patience, trust, and divine timing. It is the point where understanding transforms into action, where belief moves from the mind into the heart, and where the heart expresses its submission through the way we live. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means giving over to the one who never fails, never forgets, and never makes a mistake. Striving sincerely means putting forward honest effort without arrogance, knowing that your effort is worship even when the results are beyond your control. And reliance on Allah means walking through life with the calm assurance that you are held, guided, and provided for in ways you may never fully comprehend. Surrender begins when a person finally acknowledges that they are not the author of their destiny. You plan, but Allah plans, and His plan is always better. This realization lifts a tremendous weight off your shoulders. Life becomes less about fighting against what is meant to be, and more about accepting that every moment carries a purpose. Surrender is not passive. It is active trust. It is choosing to let go of fear that cripples you, letting go of expectations that exhaust you, letting go of the urge to control what is impossible to control. When you surrender, you are not losing power. You are aligning yourself with the greatest power in existence. Striving sincerely is the other side of this balance. Surrendering to Allah's decree does not mean sitting back and waiting for blessings to fall into your lap. Effort is your responsibility. It is the way you honor the abilities Allah has given you. It is the way you show gratitude for the opportunities He places before you. True striving is not frantic or desperate. It is steady and sincere. It is working hard without letting your work consume you. It is seeking success without letting success define you. It is walking the path with intention, humility, and clarity, knowing that Allah sees every step, every tear, every sacrifice, even when others do not. A sincere effort is one that is free from arrogance and free from despair. Arrogance makes a person believe that their success is purely their own doing, while despair convinces them that their effort is worthless. Both are illusions. In reality, your effort matters because Allah commands it, and your outcomes unfold because Allah wills it. When you strive with this understanding, your heart becomes free. You work hard, but you do not break yourself. You dream big, but you do not crumble if the dream takes time. You keep moving, not to chase provision, but to obey the one who provides. And then comes reliance, tawakkul, the anchor of the believer's life. Reliance means turning to Allah in every step, every decision, every uncertainty. It means speaking to Him before you speak to people. It means trusting that He will give you what is best, even if what is best looks nothing like what you imagined. Reliance is not a single act. It is a lifestyle. It is waking up with the confidence that Allah will take care of you and going to sleep, knowing that whatever happened today was guided by His wisdom. Reliance does not eliminate hardship, but it gives you the strength to endure hardship without losing yourself. It gives you the courage to keep moving even when you cannot see the path ahead. It allows you to face loss without feeling lost. The one who relies on Allah never walks alone, never waits alone, never cries alone. Allah becomes their companion, their protector, their provider, their guide. This call to surrender, strive, and rely transforms the heart in ways that ripple through every part of life. You begin to face challenges with resilience instead of panic. You approach success with humility instead of pride. You treat people with kindness because you know your Rizq is not in their hands. You embrace both blessings and trials as part of a divine design written specifically for your growth. This way of living invites peace even in chaos. It teaches you to breathe deeply, to accept your limitations, to trust that Allah sees the tears you cry in private and the battles you fight in silence. It teaches you that every no in your life is a redirection, every delay is preparation, every struggle is purification, and every blessing is a reminder that Allah's mercy is greater than your mistakes. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this path is the realization that surrender, effort, and reliance are not isolated actions, they are interconnected. Surrender without effort becomes passivity. Effort without reliance becomes ego. Reliance without surrender becomes wishful thinking. But when all three come together, the heart finds a balance that carries it gracefully through every season of life. In the end, this call is really an invitation to live lighter, to walk softer, to trust deeper, to love Allah more sincerely. It is an invitation to stop fighting life and start flowing with the wisdom behind it. To stop fearing the unknown and start trusting the one who knows everything. To stop chasing what was never yours and start receiving what has always been written for you. And when you live this way, with surrender in your heart, effort in your hands, and reliance in your soul, you will find that everything falls into place exactly as it is meant to, neither too early nor too late, but in perfect, divine timing.